Welcome back to the stream. You know, I've just been riding around looking for people transporting gold so that I can get Hekka chests. Hekka chests are, you get one free one every day. Whoa. What do people got? Yeah, they got some gold. That's what I want. And yeah, I'm just trying to find these riders. Yeah.
Now.
Catching them.
I kill you. Hold the enemy.
500 gold. Recommend. And that's that. And there's a quest over here. And I'm willing to bet I get a little bit of XP.
Whoa.
Just for confirming it kills the guy that I just wasted.
Something seems off here.
These guys need to be dealt with. There's even a carrion bird that needs... Well, let's see. I don't know if I'm going to give these guys a fair shot or not.
Hey.
I'm not feeling overwhelming regeneration.
You are dead.
I don't think so.
Think of something special, imbecile.
Goodbye. And of course, I can't just let these bandits live. I mean, what kind of person would I be if I let people
Hey,
go on with their lives?
cannot escape. You're dead.
So much for level 55, huh? See if there's any clues. But yeah, I ran into an old Tim. I guess I'd been there before, but I'd forgotten about it, and there were some extra nice goodies for me in there. And I also decided to auto-level everything that I did so that I could get proper loot for everything. And so that it wasn't all so ridiculously easy to slaughter everything. But as you could see just there, it really wasn't that big of a challenge. Whoa. And yeah, at the moment I'm just hunting boys with money. And there's some tin. Iron. Iron. And I don't know why I got a level 52 shield when I told the... That's odd. I'm gonna check my gameplay settings. Okay, well, I'm guessing that's it. Auto level, yep, it's on, so sometimes I'll just get lower level stuff. That's okay though. A lot of times there are money carriers near the pyramids, moving money around, so I shall ride in the general direction of the pyramids.
Whoa.
Can't up to.
You are going to pay!
Yeah, I bet I am. I'm not a fan of the Greeks in this game.
Whoa.
Little sneaky poos. Get him, Samuel.
Whoa.
So I can get my arrows back. These chaps and that blue cobra. Is this place cursed? Well, that would be a reasonable assumption based on how miserable it is. Yeah. You guys have some gold. I'm gonna help myself. Buddies. You have just seconds to exist.
Shit! Nip down! Shit!
Goodbye.
Whoa.
I like the hallucinations in this game. Fish flopping in the sand.
Whoa.
Once in a while you can see never mind.
Whoa.
Those circles you can
Whoa.
interact with. Has a neat little story. I don't need to go through that here because I've already done it. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody else. Hyenas. Sell my anything I don't have more than 200 of, that's pretty much get rid of it. Always want to have some just in case there's a quest requirement for the daily. But anyway. Animal lovers out there, I care for the creatures of the world. These happen to not be real.
Whoa.
So, even though I still have a moral compass, and this is a game and everything virtual, yeah, this is pure fantasy, and there's something to be gained from doing that without anything having to be lost in the real world. So my conscience is not really that bothered. in-depth experience for me, I can tell you that they did a pretty good job recreating the things that you hear.
Whoa.
Some of the things that you see. But it almost killed me, and I had sunburn with blisters the size of my fist. So it was a good time to be had by all. So that's all I'll say about that. Easy money. The Hekka chests are 3,000 apiece.
We have this.
I'm probably sitting on about 6,000. I'm hoping. We'll see. Close. Close. When we get to 6,000, I'll go ahead and meet the kid. Nomadic merchant.
What? Nothing gets lost.
More gun. Is that it? Is that everybody? I love this instant charging sword. It's just the best. Check out this thing. I gotta show it off. I'm sure some of you guys have played the daylights out of this game and you have it, but they say that this is a quality 122, which is fine. Damage 587, okay? I have the Sword of the Duat, which is also considered one of the greatest swords, and it is probably the best sword in the game. But the critical damage and the rate, it's just one notch below the Sword of the Duat, and you get health every time you hit with this. So it is the best sword. But this one, when you can charge the whole time, you don't have to wait. Within an instant, you can hit hard. And if they have their shield up, you just knock their shield loose, and you can just hack away with a high critical hit rate and critical hit damage. So in time you just want to melee and just take care of business, Amun's Might is the sword to do it with. That's a neat named sword as well. I would have loved to have seen these things, or to be able to see these things when they were freshly made. With the gold pyramidion at the very top. And gold plated. What kind of help do these people need?
Whoa.
Someone might need, well, it's a bandit attack. No shortage of bandits.
Whoa.
Fire banditos. You're welcome, buddy. What's going on? What's got him so worked up? Some guy with a sword, probably. Walking out of an area that looking like he's been involved in a scrap. It might make somebody freak out a touch. I call my faithful horsey. hard for me to explain why I'm so fascinated by ancient Egypt, but I think it has to do with through their many centuries of existence. I think it's essentially their longevity of their culture, of the civilization. They withstood a period of recorded history of 3,600 years. And I have a feeling that as our archaeologists do more work, they will find that length of time increase, if they haven't already. But I agree with Herodotus that the Egyptians were the, I guess you could say they were the gift of the Nile, which for all intents and purposes is absolutely spot on. They were people that, of course they were superstitious, just like most people have a bit of superstition, even if they won't admit to it. I like to think that I'm free of it, but I don't know. If I have some good fortune, I can't help but think that something nasty has to balance it out. I'm always waiting for the next shoe to drop, and there's no real logic in that. It's just I'm a sensitive sort that takes things personally, including the troubles of others. And I actually think that the scientific method was born out of superstition. And let me try to explain that. For example, let's say somebody had an exceptionally good day. Everything went their way. And as creatures of habit, it is our wont to wish to repeat those experiences. The guys just don't control. They don't even die. Being creatures of habit, it's like superstition, but mostly creatures of habit. When we get a reward for behaving a certain way or doing things a certain way, we will repeat the activity that we did prior, hoping to get the same result. And, you know, how many athletes have there been that might do something kind of crazy every time they participate in a sport? You know, maybe it's, I refuse to wash my undergarments because they're so lucky. Something like that, which is really ridiculous, but the desire to recreate something positive, I think, comes from a mixture of a crude form of the scientific method, and in some cases, superstition, which is one of my shower thoughts. Nothing especially profound, I guess. God, I love these effects and imagery. I just love ancient Egypt. Most people can't comfortably fathom when they really think about it. Can you imagine a people with a culture and artistic, and indeed were the Egyptians, hands down, had they been one of the most conservative societies that has ever existed. I'm not really, I don't necessarily admire them for that, because their lack of outside-the-box thinking and their lack of flexibility in the end caused their doom.
Whoa.
They had following the track of people, following the psychological makeup, living next to a river that every year provided a flood of various magnitude. There was the very occasional dearth, but the Nile flood was so predictable, and all that rich soot that was produced provided very fertile land, and they were able to, as long as they had the people, as long as they had the people working the field, they had more than enough food for themselves, which gave them the ability to have a standing army, and the resulting clockwork of it all. You know, it was expected. The Nile ebb and flow, the seasons, lush, very fertile land. Even the Greeks and Romans that were posted near the Nile, near Alexandria, near Memphis, they were a really cushy posting. They didn't go hungry.
Hey, wait!
I ain't gonna wait.
Die then! Oh! I will push on here! Oh, you bastard! Hey! Die!
First. Okay, well, can't just let that guy or that girl go away. I mean, gee whiz.
Hey, what?
What? Did you?
Hey! Have your guts, Watson!
Bye-bye. And with all those bandits, I'm sure I got some goodies. Or in terms of money, anyway. So let's see what I got now. Yep. 7288. I reckon that's enough to go to a town and see if we can get a legendary. I think I've gotten most of the ones that I could get because I played the game religiously for a while before taking a break. Oh yeah. Oh, what the heck, I got you with me. Stuck around this long? Don't mind a scenic night ride to place. Oh no, how can I pass that up? Guys are gonna receive a cavalry charge. That's gonna be the gold wielder first.
Keep it! Kill you! Whoa!
Oh, that little battle lasted, what, 3 seconds? Good stuff. I'm glad I thought to, excuse me, I'm glad I thought to bump up the level, because it makes the rewards a lot nicer. Night ride by the Nile. But anyways, sorry, my focus was taken away. Other aspects. The Nile provided a very predictable harvest every year. And the Egyptians had every reason to believe Because I'm sure stories were passed down from generation to generation. What it was like before they started to irrigate the land and make the best use of the Nile they could. They had every reason to believe that they were in the greatest place on earth. And some people, I think a lot of them think that the Egyptians loved the desert, and I guarantee you they didn't. They didn't love the desert. The desert was a natural defense. It was very hard to keep an army watered and fed. Crossing the desert. But the Egyptians thought that that whole tract of land that they lived was there was no greater place on the entire planet. The best place in the world was Egypt. And first, let's sell what we don't. There's immortal that I got. Sell the blues first. I like the look of the Kopesh. A gruesome matic. That is gruesome. Oh, look at that. I'm liable to get 3 Hekka chests. I shall get 3 Hekka chests. Surely one of them will be a legendary. I'm never going to sell this one. I got it as a quest item, and because of its name, I just can't. I won't ever sell it. Never, never. Antigone Shields. And, okay. Let's sell the extra junk. Alright. Let's buy 3 Hekka chests. Which should be hecka cool. Right. Spaniard's armor. A legendary outfit. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. A gruesome medic. Yeah, you can have the one you sold me for 10 times the cost. Alright. One more. The Scorpion Shield. That's interesting. Adrenaline on parry. Poison on block. Damage absorption value. Well, that's an interesting looking device. About the most I'm willing to do is try this stuff on in this sort of dressing room. I'm not really overly keen on I've upgraded this shield, the Sun and Moon. It gives me some resistance to fire and arrows, which is really the best I can hope for, and the enemy will bleed when I block, so it's just, I love the way it looks, and I love the way it behaves. We can take a look at that Spaniard's armor. These things aren't in alphabetical order, or are they? Algorithm. I'll see what the Scorpion Shield looks like. Just so we can have some light. Call forth the sun. Just like real life. There's a scorpion shield. I can see the poison coming off of it. That is a neat looking shield. One of my favorite outfits is, whoops, I get my games mixed up. C is not crouch in Lord of the Rings Online. It's something that brings up the character panel. One of my favorite outfits is the Persian Legend. The one thing that I don't like about it is the boots, I think, are metal and they make a lot of noise. But yeah, I like the Persian Legend, and I can never go without my Sun and Moon shield. I don't care that it's not the best of the best. I just it's a very beautiful Egyptian looking shield and I use it. Got the Pharaoh's regalia and the actually, here's what I can do to take an easy picture. Or get an easy view. I can zoom in and all that jazz. But yeah, this is one of my favorite outfits. But if I'm really wanting to sport that classic Egyptian look, I'll just wear the Pharaoh's regalia and use this shield and either this sword or the sword of the Duat. I don't know how entertaining this is going to be for anyone who decides to just watch this, but such is what it is. I'm going to get my Pharaoh's regalia back on, and boy do I wish this were alphabetized. I do think that the mask is creepy, so I don't wear it. I'll show my face unbearded. I know there's ladies that like their guys to have a beard. I can't grow much of one in real life, so I don't want to grow one virtually. And this is also pretty much my mount of choice. One thing that I have not been too keen on doing, but the one real achievement I have yet to do, is to totally win the chariot races to get that super grand, I guess it's the best speed in the game in terms of speed. I don't even really know what it looks like. I don't enjoy the chariot races. I don't have a natural instinct for it, and I know that I could do it if I practice, and I'll do it someday. But it ain't gonna be today. I'll tell you that for nothing. Free of charge, from me to you. I don't believe in any real magic or anything like that, but I am deeply fascinated with the ancient Egyptians and the people. And I can understand psychologically why they were the way they were. Feeling that they lived in the greatest land the world has ever possessed. or known.
Keep back this!
I think they had a natural reason for believing what they did, as far as that went. The compulsion to believe that they were special and a blessed people. I think that all culminated to their superstition and their devotion to their gods and their pharaohs.
Whoa.
And they were compelled to be great artisans and monument makers. They made some fine crafts, fine jewelry that favors well in comparison to modern methods. Some of the stuff they made was quite lovely. And I find the hieroglyphic writing to be a very beautiful, artful thing, even though they didn't really, at least in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I don't think the Egyptians stressed art for art's sake. There was a purpose behind everything that they did, sort of utility, although I know the adornments, the jewelry was, to display status. But they had thousands of years to change their artistic style, and they didn't because of cultural considerations above all else.
Whoa.
There was a sort of standard, it was part of that conservatism. The Greeks, I think, in terms of sculpting and ornamentation, in some respects, I think they outdid the Egyptians, but I like the Egyptian styles and the color schemes and the faience jewelry, the tomb paintings, which weren't necessarily done to be pretty. It was to make it so, make it real. Spell to help the pharaoh continue enjoying the things in the next life, or so they believed. They enjoyed in their real life, or their actual flesh and blood life. I think they were lovers of life and wanted it to keep going. Even though there seems to be an obsession with death, I think that manifestation of their fervent belief in an afterlife, that all that they've done with their tombs, they would put so much of their life's earnings into a tomb, one of the tombs with the book of life, scroll of life, whatever they called it, so that they could have a good afterlife. And the tomb raiders pretty much, I should say tomb robbers, but tomb robbers saw to it that their goodies went to them, which is, the only complaints I have about that is that it took away from the the archaeology, made it harder for us to know who ruled and when. And of course I would have loved to have been able to see more of the artifacts that were created. But failing that, I don't know, I kind of think I'm an undignified member of the proletarian class, and these elites that have had everything handed to them since they emerged from the birth canal.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
These guys may be worth smoking. Nope. These people that had so many workers under their thumb with their fancied afterlife and thousands of pounds of gold in a tomb they thought they could take with them. Yeah. I think a lot of the intermediate period had to do with some of the people getting kind of wise to what the pharaohs were doing. They're like, screw this, I'm not going to kill myself for this jerk. Wow.
Whoa.
It's an easy hunt. And keep one as a pet. But there's a part of me that likes the so-called little guy getting the last laugh. But I'm mostly sore at the fact that we don't know what the mummies look like of these more famous rulers, or some of the greatest rulers. I would love for them to find even Cleopatra's tomb would be fantastic. Would be something beyond all hope of anything in an archaeological find, even though she was the last pharaoh of Egypt. And she wasn't even Egyptian. Or at least not racially Egyptian. I should say that since she was prepared to assume the role of Isis, and since she'd learned the language and mastered writing it, the Egyptians weren't so stupid that they would dwell on skin color. The Egyptians, if you were prepared to live like an Egyptian and be an Egyptian, believe the way Egyptians believed,
Clear the way!
as far as they were concerned, you were Egyptian. I'm sure if you were an outlander, you had to prove yourself. And that could probably be a many years endeavor, but I think there were pale Egyptians, dark Egyptians, brown Egyptians. There were some mediums that rose to power, the equivalent of a prince or well, there was even a Nubian pharaoh. Hekka.
Watch out! Coming through!
His reign was short-lived. the Greeks thought of that. But anyways, I didn't mean to wax on so much for that, but I have a little bit of disdain with games like Civilization 6. Your only choice, unless you're buying a mod, your only choice for the supreme leader of Egypt is going to be Cleopatra. And for a African country that had withstood for, I'm just going to say it, 4,000 years, okay? I'm not going to say 3,500. I'm sure they had a
Clear the way!
culture
What is together? That's it.
that withstood far
Shield
longer
me, brothers! I must not
Then-
fail!
that, which is impressive enough. You know, 3,600 years is a long time. It's an unbelievable long time. The Romans, as a culture, existed for, what, 750 years?
Whoa.
Compare that to the tenure of the Egyptians. There's been nothing that lasted so long. Not even close.
Move!
Shield me, brothers! I must...
All that time, all that history, all that poetry, the songs, stuff that was passed from priest to priest. And all
Clear off!
and it's a reminder
Whoa.
to all of us, at least, that in time, all things, and I do mean all things, will end. In time. If it is not in your lifetime, well, whatever it is you're fancying will last forever. Yeah, it can go beyond your lifetime and even a billion years plus that. But in time, enough time, it too will be bye-bye. Which I'm not overly alarmed with, because I'm not going to be here to see the end of our sun. I should say S-U-N. But I am sad that Egypt, having once been the longest lived and having once been the most advanced culture in the world, had to meet the ignominious demise that it did.
Clear the way! Can there be sound?
And I hope that our scholars and archaeologists can learn even more in the next few years with enhanced technological means of archaeology and discovering that much more. I would sorely love to know who exactly the sea peoples were that managed to have a pretty solid foothold on things for 400 years before they finally got their butts kicked down. Ooh, something's attacking. Whoa. Gonna work out well for you, buddy.
Whoa.
I've been fascinated since I was a 5-year-old kid who decided to crack open a book, and it was a Bible book that was given to me. It was an illustrated children's Bible story thing, and it had the story of Joseph and the coat of many colors and Jesus in there, and I'd like to underscore that I'm not religious at all.
Out of the way!
Die, idiot!
And I don't disrespect people for their spiritual beliefs, but when they mix them into politics, we have a problem. Put up with that.
Clear the way! I will push on! Cover my back! Nice birdie! Nice!
Double trouble. Well, that was that. A little bit of excitement.
Whoa.
This is quite marshy, isn't it? I'm not really into this.
Whoa.
Splashing around in the drink.
Whoa.
Oh wow, can't believe that. But
Whoa.
yeah, it was a richly illustrated book, and I thought that the style that they had and the pictures in there were really fascinating. I thought, wow, what an interesting people they were.
Whoa.
And I wanted to learn a little bit more about them. As I got older and older. And
You will not pass the back. Distract the enemy. I will push on.
came around about a year after I saw. They mentioned Egypt there, and I noticed some similarities with the, some of the idols and decorations and the gods that they had.
Kill you for that.
And I don't know, it just kept spiraling. And then when I finished high school and I started playing Sid Meier's Civilization, and I would play either Egypt, America, or Germany. Sometimes England, but I would say that at least half the time I'd wind up playing Egypt.
Get out of the way!
I had a Rome
Watch out!
phase that lasted a bit, and I wound up sort of the Romans kind of out-Greeked the Greeks. Like Greece on steroids, industrialized Greece.
Whoa.
And it was always the Egyptians that I liked playing the most. Just naturally fascinated by them as a people. And I would dearly have loved to be able to see some of the cities in their prime. Some of the monuments when they were fresh. Freshly done. Trying to find... Oh, there it is. That's alright. That's kind of hitting small changes in it. Kind of like a jerk just helping myself to these people's labor here like this. Yeah, I know you toil and practically slave all day. But here, let me take your day's earnings. Just ride off into the sunset. Also an otherworldly feeling that I tend to get when I think about ancient Egypt. It's a form of escape, high fantasy, and it's easy to romanticize.
Yeah.
Very easy to romanticize things. People that love these cathedrals and think, oh, they're so beautiful and amazing. Not thinking about the fact that it took enormous resources to create these buildings. Confiscatory taxes.
I will deal with it.
Stand alone.
Oh, come on, buddy, let's play. Don't be like that.
Push on! Cover my back! Rip you to shreds!
You shall not live. He was a goner anyway, he was poisoned. Them bags of loot for me. Fall too deeply as prey to romanticism, but there is a fantasy aspect to ancient Egypt. And it's very much a kind of escape. I would love to have seen what the whitewashed buildings would look like. When things were more under their control and not under Macedonian rule. Or Roman rule here and there. The pyramids look like, the Sphinx when it was first finished.
Idiot!
Temple of Karnak. Luxor.
Right position, get it.
Step pyramid when it was first done. It's one of the first mastabas. I think this would be a good time to stop the stream. And if you found any of this remotely interesting, I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed this this bit of a trip. I will certainly stream again some other time. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys later.